everybody.
We should definitely keep it starting with that. Welcome
us
to
on camera for 10 minutes before we start recording.
Yeah, because I hope you guys are watching us on YouTube because we are
still
on YouTube.
doing it. Okay. So anyway.
Oh gosh, welcome back. We have an amazing guest today, Mal.
Yes, we do. So I started training Muay Thai like 4 years ago with this guy, Daniel. And I trained with him consistently about 3 years. And then the past year, everything's been a mess. So I've been very inconsistent. And I'm back to square one and I have no muscles. But anyway, I've known him for years. He owns his own gym in Burbank, his own MMA gym. It's called Defiant. It is an incredible community there. He does one-on-one private trainings. He does classes. He has kids classes. There's classes for everybody. There's also classes just for women, but the women obviously can go into any class. However, it's an incredible facility, and he is an amazing coach and trainer in person. And so his name is Daniel Gutierrez. We're bringing him on today because I wanted to pick his brain about the process of obviously starting his own gym, also monetizing your passion, because he has done that with multiple passions and skills, photography being one of them. And his mindset is very unique and really inspiring. And I think that it will really uplift any of us who are, any of you who are out there who are unhappy in your day-to-day life, your job, your career, and really just considering how to make that leap, how to turn your life into something that more resembles you and what you love. And so I would like to have him join us, and I want to plug the gym and his own Instagram. So his personal one is at Dan_from_Defiant. And the gym is at Defiant_gym. And it's in Burbank. So those of you in LA, check it out. And without further ado.
Well, but first.
Yes.
Are we on Patreon?
Oh. Have you guys heard of Patreon?
Yeah.
Have you heard of supporting people you love financially? Have you heard of it?
Have you heard of? Yes, emotionally we get it. Yeah. No, financially.
No, money. Okay.
Have you ever seen that movie? Never mind. Money Mud. If anybody gets that, please shout us out on Instagram.
I don't.
DM us. Anyway. Without further ado.
Patreon, please join our Patreon. We are trying to grow.
Yeah.
And you can support us with $3 a month, $7 a month, or $11 a month. You get various benefits for each of those packages. It's all explained there. Patreon.com. And here comes Daniel. Welcome, Daniel, to the pod.
Hey!
Hi. How are you guys?
Good. Thank you so much for doing this. After knowing me for like 4 years, I'm shocked that you agreed.
4 years? Wow.
Me too.
I'm regretting it right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you are somebody that we wanted to have on the show because our premise, obviously, SOS moments and people who something happens in their life and they just, it causes them to change something big, like a career shift, or whether it's like, a breakup, or you get fired, or you lose somebody, it doesn't matter, but like something big, and you're just unhappy and you're like, fuck this. So I don't think I've even actually asked you this, but I kind of wanted to go into like that life, the shift of opening your own gym and starting your own gym. Obviously you were coaching and stuff before that, but just that transition and why you decided to just dive into that, and what it was like to turn that passion and that career into like you being your own business owner. Because I want to know how you got started in MMA and kind of where your love of fighting came from to begin with.
Okay. Yeah, sure. What I do is Muay Thai, right? Like when I used to fight and train, it's like all the stand-up stuff in MMA that you guys see like on TV.
Yeah.
I opened the gym just because I was bored. I didn't want to like work anymore, like for somebody. I used to work at the airport So
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, he
yeah,
has some
yeah, yeah.
crazy stories about being in TSA.
Yeah. So I used to work at the airport, and then that was like after what I think I've been like training 12 years, maybe 13 years at the time already. But I already stopped fighting. So I was working at the airport for like a few years, and then I wasn't happy. You know, I was bored. I don't really like people telling me what to do. You know, and
So it just makes you want to fight them.
so yeah, I've saved up money at the gym.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you started when you were what, 16 or younger?
Yeah, about 16.
Why did you start?
At first I just wanted to learn like something, right? And then I had my first ever fight. I was like training for like 4 months or something, 3 or 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have like underground fights like at the gym I used to go to.
Yeah.
And they look pretty cool. I've been to them before, you know, and I was like, oh, let me try it out. So I wanted to try one, you know, so I did one and I got my ass kicked.
And you were like, I love this.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, this is great. No, actually it sucked. It really sucked. It really hurt. No, but I really don't like losing. So I really don't like losing. So I lost the first one, and like I was like, no, I should probably do it again. So I fought again, and then
to redeem.
Yeah, and then there you go.
Oh.
Did you have people in your family that fought?
Yeah.
My dad used to box before when he was younger, and my wife has like a bunch of fights too.
Yeah, that's like,
Wow.
it's such a unique. Did your love for it just keep getting stronger and stronger over time?
I mean, yeah, you know, like it's cool, you know. It's like I don't know how you say it, like it's probably like the coolest hobby you could have, I think, for me anyway, you know.
What was it like getting into fighting, and then your dad had been a boxer? Did he give you some tips, like some good advice before getting into it that helped?
No, not really. my parents were divorced, so like I didn't grow up with my dad like when I started fighting and stuff, so but he found out afterwards. He found out afterwards, and he was like, "Oh shit, like that's crazy, bro. Like good for you." You know, I was like, "Oh, thanks, man."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we used that like to bond a little bit better, so it was nice.
Why did you stop fighting professionally and then transition into coaching?
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat the question? It kind of glitched.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Why did you stop fighting professionally yourself and get into training, coaching?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, you know, when I was younger, like all the older heads used to tell me like, hey man, when you start thinking about like getting hurt, like in the ring, you know, when you're fighting and stuff, then it's probably time to like hang it up, you know, like. So I was actually pretty young. I was like only I think 25, like 24, 25 around there. But my wife was pregnant already, so like I had to get like a job, and I was like, oh man, I don't want to get hurt because like I gotta fucking like take care of like everybody and stuff like that. So I started winding down like from there, you know what I mean? And then I had my last fight when I think my oldest daughter was about not a year yet, not even a year, like a few months old. So I was like, okay, I'll do like one more, and then that's it.
So you're telling me that before that happened.
So, you know, I've been doing this like, oh, I'm so sorry. Well, I've been doing this like my whole life, right? So I was like, well, I just can't stop, you know, so I got to keep training. So I just kept training, and then a couple other people were like, hey, can you train me for this? And I was like, yeah, sure. And there it is. I just went from there.
So their advice to you was like, when you start thinking about getting hurt, it's probably time to dip out. So you are telling me that you never thought about getting hurt in all your fights before that.
No.
Yeah. That's wild.
That's the mindset that I'm curious about, where just like,
Me too.
you have to have that if that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I think you got to be a little bit crazy, right? So that's okay.
Yeah, you definitely are. Yeah.
I mean, to me, I'm
not crazy, dude. Are you kidding me? I'm normal, man. Fuck you.
Like to me, all I'm thinking in my head is float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I feel like, you know, that's like the stereotype. Everyone before a fight is just is thinking that.
Sure.
Are there any like memorable fights that you remember? Because I'm really interested in what they're like and like what the mindset is like in a really memorable fight.
Let's see, I don't know. I have a lot, not a lot, but I like quite a few. But
do you have any that you're just like, my God, that was awful, or that was the best one?
Yeah, I can give you like an example of both if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was the best one when you sparred me?
That's probably the worst experience I've ever had in my life.
Cool.
You can't fuck with Molly.
Let's see. Let's start with the worst one, I guess. Right? You want to say the worst one? It wasn't even bad, man, but it was like just like really like crazy. But so I was an amateur fighter, and then like back then they used to treat us like fucking dogs, you know. So, which is cool. I really don't mind it now, but but at the time, at the time, so I was like training, like, you know, I'm like, mind you, I'm just an amateur. Like, the gym owner like hits me up, like in the gym. I was in the class, like working out or whatever. And then I think I just fought like maybe a week or two before, and then he goes, "Hey man, do you want to go fight next week? It's a pro fight." And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, are you serious? Like, you want me to go pro? That's insane!" Like, I was like, "Yeah, come on, it's like almost the same shit. Don't worry." I was like, "Oh, okay, no problem, man. Like, whatever, I'll try it." So I've never, you know, obviously never fought pro, but like my first ever pro fight was in Tustin at the Marconi Museum. It's like a car museum, I think. Mm-hmm. And it was like a charity event, and I fought a guy from TCU. You can look him up, but like he was like a Mexican champ, like 11-0, fucking like pro fighter, 11-0, 11 knockouts and shit. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I found out before I went to the ring. I was like, oh man, this guy's gonna kick my ass, dude. So
why did they tell you that right before you went on?
I don't know, man. They're probably making money off me, dude. Who cares? It's fine. It's fine.
Did he knock you out like right away?
Huh?
Did he knock you out right away?
No, not at all. Not at all. It went the distance. Like, I lost a decision.
Wow. Nice.
Wow. Wait, so what does that mean when it's distance?
I mean, I lost on points.
Rounds. Yeah, he went through all the rounds, and then the judge, they had to decide who won as opposed to him getting knocked out.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
That's pretty good.
I mean, that's impressive. Like, right?
Yeah, I guess, man. I don't know.
You're humble.
Yeah.
And you're an asshole, but you're a humble asshole.
I'm a humble asshole, yeah. Hell yeah, I am.
Wait, I want to hear the best one.
Okay, so the best one, was probably like one of my cooler ones. So I was fighting in East LA one time. I think it was in East LA. And I had a fever, right? So I was sick. And I was like, but you know, I couldn't back out. You know what I mean? Like, you have to like follow through with like
the
contracts or arrangements or whatever. Yeah, all that stuff, right? So, whatever, fuck it, let's just go, you know? Like, I'm gonna go, let's get my ass kicked, I don't care, man, fuck it, whatever, dude. Like, at least I fucking showed up, right? So, I go, like, barely warmed up. I was, like, fucking burning up, you know? I think, like, my temperature's, like, 100 or something like that, 100 something. So I get in the ring, and, like, this other guy's, like, fucking, like, he's kicking my ass, dude. Like, just die. And then, like, he's kicking my ass just because I was like so tired from like the flu and like being sick. Like, I didn't want to move. And I'm just like, dude. And I sit down in the corner, like between the first and second round. And I was like, man, what round is it, dude? He was like, that was only the first one. And I was like, fuck.
Oh my God.
So I go up for the second round and then like same thing. And I'm just like, dude, I'm exhausted, man. What round is it? It was like, that was the second round, bro. It was the third round coming up. And I was like, God damn it. I was like, dude, I can't fucking take this shit anymore, you know? So I go out. And then we're in the middle of the ring. And then I noticed that he would like kind of like duck his head under, you know, like this, right? When you see in the camera, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, next time he does it, I'm just going to kick him. I don't care, dude. Fuck it, man. If I hit him, I hit him. So he dipped and I kicked. Like, it just happened and I fucking knocked him out. I hit him in the face.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I knocked him out middle of the ring. His hands were spread like this, like unconscious. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, let's get the fuck out of here, dude. So I raised my hand and I was like, okay, I got to go, man.
Third round?
Yeah, I was in the third round.
That's hilarious.
Bro, on a fever?
Yeah, that's probably my coolest one.
I feel like okay, and I don't know, tell me if this is like a common thing in the fighter community with like all fighters, because you have it must be like a mental compartmentalization of things, because you'll just be like, you care about a lot of things, but then you can just like switch it off and just like how you're saying, like, fuck it, I'll just get my ass kicked. I don't feel good, but whatever. And then even in the moment of how it's just like, well, I'll just try and kick. If it works, it works. It's like,
yeah.
And I know you, like I've known you for like 4 years, and that really is like how you just you'll just switch into stuff that's like, fuck it, don't worry about it, and then just move on, and then it works out or it doesn't, and everything's fine. Like it's like a lesson in. It kind of translates. It's a bigger life lesson, but I wonder if a lot of fighters, if that's just your way of dealing with it, or if you notice that in the community, if that's how a lot of fighters think.
I mean, like everyone is different, right? But yeah, no, for sure. I think you're onto something. Like it does translate. Like that whole mentality does translate. I think into your day-to-day life for sure, dude. For everyone that goes through this, like, it takes like a different kind of person to like get into the ring or the cage or whatever it may be. Just to like put everything out on the line like that. And
it's such like,
it makes you like a little bit stronger. It makes you stronger mentally, I think. And it helps like in like your day-to-day like tasks, like whatever you're going through, like outside of the gym or whatever, like.
Yeah.
It does help with that, like you get a little bit stronger, like just as a person, I think.
Yeah. That's what I think. I think about it like that. It's a really intellectual sport, and a very like emotional one too, because
the highest of the highs, the lowest of the lows, man. That's that's straight up right there,
and it's just you. It is a direct competitor, but at the end of the day, it's a sport where it's you against your own mind always.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Your best friend is like confidence, right?
Yeah.
That's it, if you have confidence, like when you go in there, you should be pretty good. You can tell when someone doesn't have confidence, especially in the ring, like big time. You know what I mean? It'll translate out. Like you'll be able to see it.
It's funny because you can see that in like performers too. It is.
Oh yeah.
Same kind of thing.
For sure, 100%. Anything, music, any type of sport, anything, anything. Even in business, right? Even in business, if you see like whatever, a CEO giving like a speech or whatever their daily fucking things that they do, and you can totally tell if like he's on the ball or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, for sure.
It kind of makes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wanted to, because now you've been 20 plus years, you have a lot of experience in the industry and also in training and coaching. And so what are some things that you see in young fighters that make you really believe that they have what it takes even before you really get into training them?
Oh, that's a good question. To be honest, like I like when you first like see people in the gym, like it's like their work ethic, like if they show up all the time and they just work hard through the classes and like through the sparring and like, through all the training and stuff like that, like they really push themselves, like that's really cool. I dig that a lot, man. Shows that they got like some spirit, like dedication and stuff. You never really can tell, in my opinion, until like they actually fight like one time. First fights,
Also because of, I was wondering if that was because after the first fight, it kind of like slaps you in the face with like how real it is and how hard it is, and then they're maybe faced with losing. Is that why? Because then psychologically you can see where they're going to go with it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're spot on with that. Yeah. Everyone reacts different. You know what I mean? Winning, losing, whatever it may be. I know some guys that won and then like they don't want to do it again. Like I know guys that lost and like they're like, no, I can change. Let me work harder and this and that. And it's cool, like, so always wait until like the first time when I see them fight, and then I always ask, okay, like, do you like it or what? You did good, and you did this good, you did that bad. But you didn't give up in the fight, which is good. It's fine. Like, do you like it? Do you want to continue doing this or what, you know? And if they say, yeah, then okay, great. Then I always wait to see if like they kind of follow through, right? So you'll always tell, right? Like, so one guy will fight and then not show up for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And then one guy will fight and like he'll be back the next week, like in the gym, you know, like he could be hurt or whatever, but he's still working out, or she's still working out, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that's
yeah, man.
Like, you know, if I wanted to join and start boxing, and you wouldn't look at these arms and be like, you know, if I had the
guns,
work ethic,
bro, guns.
Listen,
if I had the work ethic, you would still be into coaching me, though, right?
Sure,
you would just look at me and be like, she's a lost cause. At least she's trying.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, just say you don't know Molly, man. You should be all right.
That was like, for those listeners who are not in my daily life, so all of you, I started going to Daniel, like training with you I trained with you for like 3 years, and then pretty much the last year it hasn't been consistent. But that's what like he nicknamed me Noodles, because my limbs are like literally like just long, skinny, like.
Have you seen your arms, man? Fuck, dude, they look like spaghetti noodles, bro. Your brother came. Your brother's never met me. Your brother came to the gym, right, to watch her train. And I call her Noodles. I don't call her Molly. Like, hey, Noodles. And this and that. And her brother like knew exactly who I was talking about.
Yeah.
And like
I said
and knew exactly why I called her Noodles. He goes, yeah, it's probably your arms, right? Like,
yeah.
Exactly.
He called me Noodles, and I looked at Dylan and I was like, well, he calls me and he goes, yeah, I know your arms. And I was like, okay.
Damn, it's cold out there.
I know.
It's okay. I relate. I feel you.
She's even more noodly.
There's more noodly? I don't know if I can handle that, man.
I feel like what are those, like those blow up things at like car dealerships?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's
yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
to me, I think it's one of the most beautiful sports because of those things we were talking about, where it's not even it's about the craft, but the craft is about your spirit. And I for sure. Sports, a lot of sports that can be that to people, but especially fighting, because it's so intense and visceral and just like at the core of us being animals at the end of the day, and having adrenaline and having like
sure. It's pretty primal, you know. Yeah, you can say that for sure.
Yeah. But it's such an art. It's so artful, and I'm just like, I'm so intrigued. I love it so much. And then when I've had people ask me to, but I don't even know if you did, maybe when I started with you, but like, would you ever want to like actually get in the ring and have a fight? And it's like, first of all, I'd get my ass whooped, but also like, even it's not even rude. We're on air. Don't tell people that.
Oh,
she has street cred, obviously.
I forgot.
But I'm drawn to it for those reasons of it. It's not even like, you know, some things, if you're gonna start, the obvious reason is because you're trying to, like, you know, if you're doing A, you want to do B. But for fighting, for training, to me, it's just like, it's so much more than that, because you can meet it so many different places and really be fulfilled with it. But that's why I was wondering, like, I'm intrigued by people who have made careers out of it, because it's not just a sport to anybody. It can't be to you if it's turned into your life. And I've seen the way the way that you are with like your gym and the people you train, and it's like such a tight community. And I wanted to ask you what you think, and you've traveled a lot and had fights, you know, obviously in different countries and different cities, and the fight community as a whole, what is your favorite thing about that community in general? Or some of your favorite things, like what you always come away.
Well, I mean, I like that, like everyone's like, you know, get along for the most part, you know? And it's like, you know, I don't know, I can't even say it, man. It's just cool that like someone else knows like how you feel too, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard when you're a community.
Feel like you belong. It's nice, you know? Like, like that kind of stuff I like, you know what I mean? Like the camaraderie, right? Like stuff like that. Yeah. I think that's probably the main thing that I like about it, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's funny because it's like the
club, you know what I'm
irony. Yeah. The irony of the fact that people think fighters or people who are like on the outside have never done it or don't know. And I think that people think fighters are very like just hard and aggressive and not
Sure.
and like intimidating, you know, because that's the point. But at the same time, even like your gym again, it's the most welcoming, accepting, kind people, like more so than any other type of gym, like a regular gym or any other sport. Yeah, it's genuine, and then they get in there and then they beat each other's ass. But it's just like such a real. It's a very accepting community, and it sounds like it's that way no matter where you travel for fights, like no matter the city.
Yeah, all over the world, and it's like about the same, you know.
Yeah.
You can go to like any gym in the world, and you get, as soon as you walk in, like I don't know, you can feel it, right? Like an energy, and they can feel it too, you know. Like the people at other places too, they can feel it too, and be like, oh, okay, this guy's cool. Like he knows what's up, and I don't know, they just accept you, like, you know, shit like that. I don't know. It's like a weird little thing, man. It's a weird little thing. And then it's also like, you know, like these guys, like they understand you, you know, like, you know, I said, like, I don't know, I wouldn't call anyone weird, but it takes like a special type of person to like keep doing this, right? I think like to get into the ring and fight all the time.
Yeah.
Not too many people can understand it, right? I think.
Yeah, you're right.
But everyone in like gyms like this, like they get it, you know. So it's cool. Like that's kind of.
Yeah. What were the biggest like challenges when you were opening up your gym? You know, transitioning into
getting people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just getting students in general, man. Yeah, that's it.
Because you had to use a different part of your brain, I imagine, the networking brain. Like you were a fighter and an entertainer, and now you have to be someone who markets and
yeah, for sure. That's a big transition. You know, something like you know, it took me like a while to figure out. Like I don't know, at least a couple of years, I think. You know, it was just it took me even like a couple years to figure out even how to train like people, like, you know, like the right way and stuff, you know, like.
And such different people. Like you have professional fighters coming in, and then you have me coming in, and you're training all of us.
With your noodle arms, you know, like, okay, how am I going to do this?
Listen, when I'm
it really teaches you like, it teaches you, or it taught me anyway, it taught me like patience, right? Like you have to really be patient. And then you have to learn how to translate everything. All the technique and like everything that you see and like you want to do. You have to learn how to translate it into words, into like small movements or like slow movements, you know, instead of like quicker ones and stuff. And then it's interesting, you know. It's interesting. It took me like a few years to like trying to transition through, and but
was it mainly
after a few years you get it, you know. It's cool.
And like word of mouth.
I mean, I'm still trying.
Was it mostly word of mouth? How you were getting people?
A lot. Yeah, a lot of word of mouth. I want to say, well, I think back maybe a couple of years ago, like maybe 85-90% word of mouth. And then nowadays it's more like social media, like Instagram really helps a lot, you know, and Facebook too, not so much. I think Instagram is like probably the main one, you know.
Yeah.
And we use the gym. We use Instagram more than anything else. Like, and it works out like really well, you know.
Did you ever hit like a really rough patch as you were in the first, I don't know, a couple of years where you?
Sure. Yeah. 100%. I've hit a few. I've hit a few rough patches. Yeah, a few. You know, there's like nobody training, no money coming in, and you know, what are you gonna do, right? Like, okay, you stick with it, or like you don't stick with it, you give it up, and like you try something else or whatever. So I mean, I felt like that like a few times, you know, like you break down, you want to cry, you know, like because you're like, fuck, dude, like what the fuck, you know, like when is it going to get better? When is everything going to like turn around? You know, especially if you have like mouths to feed and stuff too, like it takes a toll, you know? You know, luckily everything worked out okay. Like, you know, we stuck with it. When things were like low, then something would always happen. And like, you know, we would have like a little boost, you know? And it was like that for like a few years, and it was good.
You also
started throwing shows. I was like, that helped out a lot, you know?
Oh yeah. And you also started, even after I started with you, I think it was like a year after, you started branching out and doing more with your film and photography. And I love that. And I think it a lot of people, that's a really good example for people, because I think people forget that you can always do something else that you love.
Sure.
Like you don't.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And I admire your, like how you just went for it. And then you took it seriously, and you just started booking more and more and more stuff. And then, then you're like doing two things that you love doing, which a lot of times people have a hard time even doing one.
I just got lucky, you know, with that one.
No, no, because you're actually good at it. So it's like but you have
Thanks,
to make
man.
the decision. You have to decide to, I think it speaks to your mentality. And that's what I kind of want to ask you about too, for people listening, because a lot of people just feel stuck in their own lives. And there are valid reasons, like you said, mouths to feed and and these are like serious things. And how do you like snap yourself into a
those are scary, man. Those are scary things, you know? I don't know. I think like for me, I think just the main thing is, let's just like, you know, just try not to be afraid, you know? Like if you want to try something, just try it. Like if you're not good at it, then you're not good at it. You could always get better. If you don't like it, that's a different story, right? If you don't like it, then at least you tried, you know? And you won't have in the back of your mind like, oh, what if, you know?
Yeah.
So one thing, like, I just, for myself, like, you know, I'm just talking about for me, but like, I really hate that feeling of like, oh man, like, what if I had done that? Or like,
me too.
I should have tried that, you know? And it's just, you know, for me, it's just like, okay, just try it, you know? Like if it fails, it fails, and you know, like, no harm done, you know? Like, so.
And that what if feeling is worse to me. It's worse than not or than doing it and not liking it or failing at something.
Yeah, for sure. I'd rather know and not like something than like not know. You know what I mean?
Right.
So stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
What are your goals with Defiant moving forward? Do you have any new things on the horizon?
You know, I just want to like just grow the gym even more. You know, like last year too. Obviously, you know, fucking really weird, really crazy, really crazy times, you know?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a perfectly normal year.
But you expanded a lot. You grew a lot.
Times, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Crazy, you know? And I just want the gym to be like better, you know? Like during the last 2 years, like we actually grew a lot. Thank, you know, the blessing from God, man. But, and then like in that, we remodeled everything, we grew, revamped everything, like just everything you could think of, like we did it, just made everything better, you know? Like sometimes, you know, it takes like either slow time or like time away for you to realize like, oh, what could I do to make everything better, you know? Like you get to look at it from like outside the box and try to fix your mistakes from there, you know? So, I mean, you know, like I said, like last year, I'm not mad about last year. I think it was good. It was a good thing. Because it gives you time to like reflect and like, and figure out how to change things, you know, like, and we changed everything here and it ended up really good. You know, we got a good vibe going on over here.
Yeah. Everybody's having crazy. I hadn't seen you. Yeah. Cause I came back after most of the pandemic, like in January of this year. And it was I hadn't been there probably in like 8 months or something. And it's an entirely different place.
Oh, it looks even different than when you came in January now.
That's what, because I think it was like January or February last. We got to catch up though, because I got a lot of stuff that changed and I got to figure out coming back. Cause remember anything, and I have no arms. The spaghetti
spaghettis.
Yeah, they're wet noodles right now. They're not even like al dente.
I believe you, man. I believe you.
Would you ever consider going back into the ring? I know you said you stop. Oh yeah,
no, you're over it. That was a quick.
Not even a little.
I'm way too old, way too fat, man. I'm good, man.
Oh, no, you're
not. Oh my God.
I wanted to ask you this too. I know it's like, are you watching? Like, how do you think of like what boxing and fighting is today? Because the big fights that are happening, like the one that just happened with Mayweather and Logan Paul. Yeah. Like, do you think they're kind of like, I don't know, disgracing the sport, like these YouTubers?
I wouldn't say disgracing the sport. For sure that whole thing was a money grab, which is cool. Yeah. So hey, I don't mind the hustle. That's dope, man. You're gonna make like 50, 60, 70 million dollars. Like, good for you, dude. That's tight as fuck, you know?
It's crazy.
So I respect that, you know. Was it a joke? I mean, yeah, kind of, but I mean, it was an exhibition, so it wasn't a real fight. You know, it didn't count for anything. There was no judges. Did it bring like more publicity to like boxing or like combat sports? Yeah, it did, right? Like, you know, boxing found a new way to like connect with like younger people. You know what I mean? You have like a younger generation now that's like all into boxing. And to me, that's dope, man. Like,
yeah, that's true.
You know, like you have like kids, like TikTok kids, man, YouTube kids, like whatever, Instagrammers, influencers, or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and now they want to box. They want to go learn how to box. I'm like, well, that's cool, man. I think that's a great thing. You know, like they totally reinvented it like themselves. And like I said, they have a younger generation, like that's connected to them now, you know?
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's cool, man. That's cool. You know, like for years, everyone was saying like, oh, boxing is dying and blah, blah, blah. But they literally just like re-up themselves like right now, you know? So to me, I thought it was fine. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to put it, because I look at them and I'm just like, oh, these fucking YouTubers are jokes, but they are bringing in that younger audience. So it's like, you know.
Like, so it's like that whole generational gap like thing, and like this just bringing people in, which is cool. I mean, the one thing that like would suck about it, like, is that, you know, you have like, you know, these guys that like never trained really before, or like not for too long, and then you have guys that like done this their whole lives and they never get a break, and so I mean that kind of aspect isn't fair, you know, but in my opinion, it's probably going to meet somewhere in the middle, you know.
They're
going to generate more money to give to like these other like guys that have given like their whole lives to the sport, you know, and they'll figure out a way in the middle. I think like it's going to take a couple years, but we'll watch it. You'll see it'll be better, you know. I think it's be cool.
It'll even back out, but it swings kind of crazy at first.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The last question I would like to end on asking, and we kind of dipped into this, but your advice for anybody who is unhappy in their job or in life and is struggling to
just fucking quit. Just fucking quit. Forget it, man. Don't second guess it. Quit your fucking job right now, dude. Right now. I'm joking. Don't ever do that. Please don't listen to me.
I love that. I love that. That is literally how we started this podcast, with that kind of mentality. So hey, is this the right audience for that?
Wait, Daniel,
hopefully you do it a little bit smarter than me, you know, like because I just quit everything and I just did it. Like I just went straight in. But
well, it's more about like how finding ways to, or having a hard time monetizing their passion, because that's what
sure. Yeah. I mean, the only advice I could ever give anyone, like, really, I mean, because I've had like guys even from the gym like ask if they should like start their own thing, or like, you know, whatever it may be, or like try to give them a little bit of encouragement, like if they want to like make that jump, you know. Just don't be afraid, you know. That's pretty much the only advice I can give anybody. Like, really, you know, I'm not like a crazy businessman. I'm not like, you know, super crazy, like successful or whatever. Like, I'm not rich or anything.
Lies. How many Rolexes do you have? Just
the two. No. But just don't be afraid, you know. Try it. Try everything that you want to do, you know. If you feel stuck, try something different, try something new, see what you can do. The only thing that's going to cost you in the beginning, obviously, is time. Like, it's just time, right? Everything is time management. If you have a full-time job, 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, you're working like 40, 50 hours a week, right? I mean, you can still find 5 hours somewhere like in that week to figure something out and just try it, little by little. It's all about time management,
Yeah,
that's it. Just don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Love that.
It's funny because the way we started this podcast, do you remember I came into train with you like the day after I worked at this job for like 3 years, and I show up in the morning and he's like, "Hey, what's up, Noodles?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got fired yesterday." And you were like,
"That was the day after."
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, it was the next day. He's like, "No, you didn't." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay." So
I was like, "Damn, that sucks, bro. Fuck. Like, you want a coffee? Like, you buy you a coffee if you want."
Yeah. He did. Like, do you want to train? I was like, yeah, no, I think I feel good. I'm just like a little stressed, but yeah. And then that's why we started this. That's when we started the podcast, because it was just like when you're talking about, you're like, quit your job or just get yourself fired, really, because
you could totally just get fired. That's cool too.
I just pull some shit. I was
get on unemployment.
I was taking desserts to Daniel for like a couple of years.
Yeah, and then it stopped, man. Fuck, dude.
I know,
but in retrospect, I think it's good because then now I lost weight, so it's cool now.
It was all my fault.
It's all your fault.
Yeah. Oh, dang. Wow. Right. But thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this and to share your story and your advice. And I'm going to be calling you later to annoy you.
No problem, man. It was my pleasure, It was fun. I thought it was great.
Wow. I'm really grateful for that conversation.
Yeah. I feel like I know so little of the sport, so it's so interesting to hear the kind of mindset that he has going into a fight.
Yeah.
The mindset he has going outside of it, and it was awesome. And I hope you guys support this gym.
Yeah.
Follow him on Instagram. Get some coaching lessons. Yo, it's hot girl summer, ladies.
That's right.
So let's get these going.
It's also fight summer. I don't know if you guys have heard. We're about to be out in public again. I'm ready to throw some fucking bows.
That's true. People are coming out of their houses for the first time. You don't know how weird they're going to be. They're going to want to fight, so you're going to want to have to defend yourself.
Yes.
What better way to do that than with Daniel and Defiant?
You've been cooped up at home. Your aggression has nowhere to go. Take it out. Speaking real talk.
Oh, God. Anyway, thank you so much, Daniel, for coming on here. Shout out Defiant. Shout out Black Lives Matter. Shout out fucking our Patreon. Shout out Nyjah. Shout out Steve. You guys are real ones for being members from OG Patreon members. Yes. You're fucking amazing.
Also, wait, Nyjah, shout out to you for being a supporter of my music as well.
Yeah, she's the best. Everyone follow her, Nyjah Brooks.
Yes, follow her. Follow her right now.
She's an amazing dancer.
Yeah, she is. Fire.
We see you, girl. We see you, girl.
What were we saying?
At the SOS Pod on Instagram and Twitter. Follow us on, subscribe to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, anywhere you find your podcast. We are there. Leave us a review. It helps us reach more people.
And I'm Molly Cottrell.
I'm Alyssa Rosano.
And here's to turning meltdown
into magic.